Welcome. Today's lesson is decimal place value. We're looking at lesson 4 in our book, and it is the 13th of August. So we're going to first talk about modeling our decimals in grids. So we're going to look at the decimal 2/10. And I'm getting that number from my decimal number cards that are in my packet, that is in my bag. And I'm going to start by drawing, I'm going to use this as my model. I'm going to draw this one hole. Let's see, I want to get it as close as possible. And I cut this out of my packet. It's actually the thousandths, and we're going to be using that in just a second. I'm going to do the best I can here to draw it. And I am going to model 2/10. So these lines are already there nice and straight for me, so I'm just going to use those. Let's see, well, let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. So I need to do a little bit of partitioning right here. Partitioning is when we separate things, and we're going to be repartitioning in this lesson. So I'm not going to quite use those lines, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh gosh, I'm doing the best I can, 6, 7, my lines aren't straight, 8, 9, and 10. Well, I did the best I could to try to make them even, but because it didn't quite work out, I should have done 10 lines rather than the size of the shape. That's okay. So now I have tenths, and I took my one hole. So I'm going to do my one hole here. I'm going to outline it in red. And I'm just going to outline this in red here. And I'm going to put that this is one hole. Okay. And then I'm going to take a nice green color here. And I'm going to trace over my lines in green. And these greens are tenths. Oh my gosh, my lines are so crooked. These are the tenths. And I'm going to shade in 2/10. So I'm going to shade in these top two. And I have 2/10. Now, and I'm just going to go straight to my color, I think it'll be easier. I'm going to take a blue color, and I am going to repartition. Repartition. And that means draw another set of lines, basically. Make more partitions or barriers, so draw another set of lines. But when I draw these lines, I'm going to turn my notebook, and these lines are going to go the opposite direction so that I'm making squares. And I'm going to try to do them as evenly as I can. So there's 1, 2 sections, 3 sections, and again I need 10 sections because decimals work in tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now I can see my 2/10 are in hundredths now because I have 100 little boxes. And I'm going to put over here that these blue lines are my hundredths. And let's count how many boxes are now colored in that I have hundredths. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So when I have hundredths, now I have, so I started with 2/10, and now I have 20 hundredths. Now what if I repartitioned that again? Here's where I'm going to use the model that they've already done for me, because there's no way, look how much trouble I had drawing those lines. There is no way I could draw some more. So I'm going to shade in that 2/10 on this. I'm going to glue this in after when I'm done, because I don't want it to be wet, so I'm just going to do my coloring first. I'm going to color in that 2/10. So there's what is originally colored in up here, right? Two rows. And then if I count how many are here, there are 10 in each of these boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190. There's 200 of those. So that is 200 thousandths. So that is 200 thousandths. And that is how we repartition our decimals, which is the lesson that you are doing on Seesaw today. So basically what we are showing you, or what we want you to understand, is that 2/10 is equal to 20 hundredths is equal to 200 thousandths. So these things are all equal. They all are showing the same amount of space, or they have the same value. We are just giving them different names. Okay, and that is all for today's lesson. That is what you are asked to do on Seesaw, is repartition your decimals.